So if we do have that full 36 teams, it's going to be a $2,000 payday on top. Well, that's plenty of side action. We're going to have 8 games of qualifying, followed by a top 4 going into step ladder finals. What that means is the 3rd and 4th place will each other on lanes 15 and 16. The winner of that match will move on one pair to the right, 17 and 18. To bowl our 2nd place qualifier, and the winner of that match will go on to the finals on that 19 and 20, bowling under that beautiful hammer banner. That's our hammer featured pair right now. You see on the right-hand side. And the winner of that match looks like they will take home $2,000 on top. We'll try and get you a pay list here as soon as possible. All right, boys, I will be right back. We're going to have a few people in the booth today, so we're just going to get everything acquainted, good to go, and we're going to let the bowling do the talking for just a minute. All right, yeah, you should be on, ready to go. Go ahead and give us a quick little test of hello and good morning and all that good stuff.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. Johnny Campos here. It's great to be here. I mean, this is, I really like the way y'all started streaming this stuff. I watch it all the time when we can't make it. It's right. Really outstanding.
It's great. The fact that it's on Twitch and we're able to live stream it now, I think that it's really cool, and it's really started to pick up a little bit too. So I think at first everybody was kind of like, oh, Twitch, I'm scared of it. You know, it's not YouTube. But it seems like we're starting to get a good following going.
Yeah, I think it'll continue. This is just an incredibly strong field.
Yes, it is.
When they see the quality of the bowlers that are in this tour, I think you'll start getting a lot more followers.
Right, and you got to give the bowlers credit today for coming out on a sport pattern and filling the house. We filled the house today. I want to say that we're at 36 teams, yeah?
Wow, very good. Yeah, and some strong teams.
Right.
Again, and you got the names. You got Pete Weber, Kyle Sherman. You got the pros here. I think people, once they start seeing that you're getting the quality of bowlers like this, even the non-pros.
Right.
It's a very strong field.
Yeah, even the non-pros are going to come out there and give the pros their money's worth, for sure. Yeah, I'm looking through the names today, and I mean, I'm just seeing some awesome teams. I see some St. Louis bowlers, Tom Partle Jr., Godfrey Wilson, Ben Tubbin here at Plaza Lanes.
Yeah.
Scott Pierce, Dave Cummings. That's going to be a pretty strong team. We got Eddie Bird. I mean, just some names on it, and that's here. That's not even like half the list. And then we got Pba Pros out here too, like you said. We have Pete Weber on our featured pair, and I believe Kyle Sherman's going to be on our next featured pair too.
Yeah, you know, it's really cool. When I started coming to these, when my son started bowling, my son Andre is bowling out there, and when I started coming to these with him, it was like a reunion with a lot of the guys that I used to know. I used to work on the PBA tour. So, you know, like Rosenberg, and I saw Jim Wagner and Greg Look, guys that I knew 30 years ago, literally,
right.
And they're still bowling competitively, bowling very well.
Right. Yeah, it's very cool to see. I mean, you know, even growing up in the St. Louis area, these are guys that I watched when my dad was bowling, you know, and they're still, like you said, they're still out here, and they're still super competitive, too. It's not going to be easy to make top 4 today.
No, it's not. even on a tough sport condition, I believe the scores, they always figure something out. With all the equipment and today's equipment, I mean, it's totally a different game than when I was out, you know, working on tour.
Yeah, it's crazy how things have changed, but, you know, this is something that we talk about a lot, is it's crazy how things have changed, but it's amazing to me how much it has gone back to, like, you'll see such a strong amount of people throwing urethane today. I guarantee you it'll transition to that.
Yeah, that kind of affects everybody. I mean, they give them a better line, but it's amazing how it's come around back to urethane.
Right,
I mean,
right.
And guys like on tour like Jacob Buttrup and Jesper Svensson. I
Yes.
mean, they have definitely made it cool to go back to urethane.
Right. And then even the designs and stuff like that, like they're either doing the old school, just flat black bowling ball that you can't even see the labels on it, or they're going funky with it, like the fever pitch and things like that, where and even but it's so cool to see the vintage line come back too, like Hammer doing the purple hammer and things like that. I mean, that's probably one of the most used bowling balls as far as urethane goes.
Yeah, good old throwbacks. Yeah. You know, it's funny when I worked in San Antonio. I used to work at a newspaper in San Antonio, and Columbia 300 was there, located in San Antonio at the time.
Uh-huh.
And Connie Smoot, she was one of the vice presidents at Columbia, and they were coming out with all these balls and stuff, and she goes, we need a black bowling ball. And that's how the black you got, because she said they were coming out with all these colors. She goes, no, we need a black bowling ball.
Right.
And it was just interesting to see how some of these balls evolve.
It just swings back around. It really does. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
But with the pattern today, I was taking a look at it a little bit earlier, and you can see, I mean, something that's kind of crazy about this one is that, usually you're used to hearing like 2-to-1 or, even flat patterns and things like that. But this one has a pretty crazy transition. It goes from 7.3 to 1 on the outside to a 1.72. So basically your 10 to 10 is the sport pattern. Yeah. But if you get it outside, you're going to see a lot of free hook today. So I think that's why I'm thinking that that urethane's going to be coming into play here pretty soon.
Try to throw it straight off the corner, probably.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that the transition is going to be something to really look into throughout the day today, because instead of seeing, I mean, obviously you're going to see some people moving way left and swinging it way right because it's going to come back from there. But I wouldn't doubt that you're going to see some people make a bump right, ball down to urethane, and just ride that all day today.
Wow, and it'll probably be there, yeah. It's funny how the lane patterns have evolved also over the years. Mm-hmm. Because when I was out on tour, Lenny Nicholson was he would do it with a spray gun, and then we eventually hooked up with John Davis, with Kegel, who just got inducted into the USBC Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And they just had this ceremony in Vegas. I was there a few weeks ago, and he basically has created what everybody's bowling on today.
Yeah.
Because just about everywhere you look, they have the Kegel machine, and they'll send out somebody to show you how to use it, and it's, you can basically put out anything you want.
Right.
It's because of that guy. I mean, he literally revolutionized the game by himself.
Yeah. And it's so cool how willing they are to work with people. I know last week we did our second annual Midnight Bowler Society, which is the $1,000 entry. It went really well. The scores were a little bit higher this year, but the field was just as competitive. The biggest stretch between first and second was 22 pins over 8 games. There were 2 games decided by less than 2 pins, I believe. So first game right out the gate, 222 to 221. So, and it was it was super exciting. But it's also a pattern that was developed in partnership with Kegel. So
Kegel, great company. Have you been down in Florida?
No, unfortunately. I've seen pictures, though, and I've seen videos.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough. Del Warren and Randy Stoughton, they were out on tour when I was working out on tour. So good friends of mine, they're running Weber University, their bowling team.
Yeah,
but
heck of a team. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, and with that, I can see how they could develop great bowlers, because they could break your game down to the nth degree, and tell you exactly what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic facility. Anybody that's got a chance, they should make a trip down there to Florida just to check it out.
Sorry, it looks like we had some a little bit of an internet issue, but it looks like we're back now.
Oh, cool.
That may be something we have to look into. I kind of noticed it was a little bit fluttering throughout throughout the intro, so we'll just break it up. We'll go game by game. You guys will be able to watch the videos later and see it game by game breakdown probably.
Yeah, this is probably good. This is a good tool for the guys bowling. They can go back and see, well, how did I play this? What did I do wrong?
Right.
I like that feature as well, that you can go back and watch the old show.
Yeah, and we try and bring it at a quality that's good enough to where you can actually, we broadcast at 60 frames a second, which means that you can actually slow it down and see frame by frame by frame. And I know that that's not quite what they have down at Kegel. They have far superior than that. But the fact that this is a live stream and you can break it down and literally go frame by frame, I think that's like you said, a great tool to be able to see. Plus, it's cool to see that time that you went up and threw a strike, to win the tournament or. But yeah, we always put the archives up on YouTube as well, so they're available to watch. We already got the Midnight Bowler Society from last week up there.
It's also nice for the families. Like my wife Janine, she's at home. She couldn't make it down here.
Right.
But she can watch on my iPad, and if Andre, our son, ever gets on there, she can see him.
Yeah.
So, and it's like watching him on TV, like watching a guy make a TV final on the PBA Tour.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, if enough people start hearing about it, you'll start getting lots of visitors.
Right, and that's what's cool about it, is just to see the natural progression. What was awesome about last week is that we went into that stream with 992 followers, which means that we were about to hit our 1,000th follower. Pretty big deal for Twitch channels. And then by the time we ended it, we're at over 1,100 followers. Like I think we hit 165, 68 on the broadcast, which was just really cool to see. So we had over 800 replays of it within 24 hours. And Brad Miller thankfully went live and kind of said the address beforehand, so we saw our viewership jump 100 viewers, and so it was a pretty cool thing to be a part of again. So
excellent.
And then just like today, pretty cool to be a part of this too. We got Tim Behrens. I believe he's bowling with Pete Weber today. So
right. Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking to Pete before they went on, and about he just won his 100th PBA title just a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know if you remember, but they had said before that he had already won his 100th PBA title.
Oh, nice.
But what happened was, one of the PBA media people went through and discovered that when he won his first one, he was not a member.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't count it towards the 100. So all of a sudden he was back to 99.
Oh my gosh.
And he said that the one where they originally had told him was his 100th.
Yeah.
The owner had made like these koozies for the drinks and stuff. That Pete Weber's 100th PBA title.
Oh wow.
Because he thought that was it. He made like 500 of them. And all of a sudden, then the PBA said, "I'm sorry, you only have 99."
Right.
So he goes, yeah. So now. Since he won a couple of weeks ago, he said, now I can start handing those out again.
Oh, man. Can you imagine how many people get to celebrate their 100th win twice, though?
Two. Yeah, that's right. He's the only one that's been able to do it. But, Walter Ray Williams, he's got like 113 now or something.
Right.
He's not slowing down.
And how fitting was it that Pete's 100th victory was against hometown's own Kyle Sherman?
Yeah.
In St. Louis.
And Kyle was happy for him.
Right.
I think.
I mean, if you in Kyle's eyes, I guess, if you grew up in St. Louis, Pete Weber was kind of the where you want to get to type of thing. And to have that opportunity to bowl against him in a PBA event in the finals, you can't be mad about losing and getting him for his 100th PBA title. That is just crazy to think how many people just strive for that one PBA title.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have just one. You're right.
Right.
It's amazing.
taking a look at the scores here, and it looks like 15 and 16 has a pretty good look so far. The 1A had a little bit of a rough start, but overall,
Wow.
it looks like everybody's pretty clean. And
Pete's got the front 4 going for 5 here.
oh, what do you know? What do you know? And then over on 19 and 20 on our Hammer featured pair, it looks like they are not having the best of luck over there, though.
Wow.
Speed goes for 5 in a row.
Front 5 for Pete.
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
that 19 and 20 does not look like a lot of fun right now. Wow. I see 1 double.
Right.
Oh, 2. I see 2.
Followed by an
Combined.
open.
This is a whole 6 guys, yeah.
And you see Tim on lane number 15, Tim Barrett. That was our big winner of the night on the Midnight Bowler Society. He won, I believe, 2 games and then got a couple of seconds. Like it was pretty much the Tim Behrens show for most of the night.
Wow, he's won some big tournaments lately. I mean, he won the big tournament on the part-time bowler tour last year, 5,000.
Yeah.
So he's very tough. He's him, Tom Partle, some of these guys, Biden. I mean,
Right.
You have some really good bowlers that a lot of people have never heard of.
Right, and that's the thing that's crazy as far as like bowling in St. Louis and growing up in St. Louis is that you say names like Tim Barrett, Shea Bittenbender, and you would expect everybody to know who they are by now, and if you don't underestimate them. Remember those names because you do not want to bowl them.
Plus you have the Lindenwood bowlers from around here that they come into bowl for this fantastic team. Randy Lightfoot, a very good friend of mine, he was out on tour, but he's one of the coaches for me. Brings in some tremendous talent.
Right.
And you got McKendry very close, not far from the area.
Right.
You have all these outstanding collegiate bowlers that are flooding the area. You get Andrew Orff, from Lindenwood, and you have some of the other bowlers. I mean, and even former players,
Right.
that are still in the area. It's the bowling talent in the St. Louis area is incredible.
Right, and of course they all come and they bowl these tournaments, or
right.
the part-time bowlers tour. So yeah, it makes the field that much greater and that much tougher to make it even into the finals.
And it was kind of cool when John Marsala won on the National Senior Tour last year.
Yep.
Kind of put the part-time bowlers tour on the map. I mean, even though Kyle Sherman bowled in it, he didn't really talk about it. But John, nobody saw it coming. Did not surprise me at all. I've seen John bowl. He's fantastic talent. And yeah, when he made the show, I said he could win.
Right. Yeah, John, if you've watched our part-time bowlers tour, John, no stranger to making the finals, and especially our tournaments earlier this year down at Cape Girardeau made the finals in both the tournaments, commentated with us a few times, and just a well-rounded ambassador of the sport, really.
Absolutely. Love talking to John about bowling. Just talking to him, you can tell he's got the passion for it.
Right. Although he did give us one of the greatest moments of the part-time bowlers tour this year. So it was down in Cape Girardeau. He needs 9 pins to force the opponent to strike out, and he thought they lost on the fill ball. So earlier he was actually commentating with us on the 3rd and 4th, like 3v4, and he was saying that he had stuck with the same ball all day. Literally did not change bowling balls. And then he threw that ball all game, and all of a sudden, what does he do on the fill ball? He picks up another ball. And I go, did he just switch balls? And we're all talking about it back here. He thought that they had lost the game, goes through the face and crumbles the big 4 for the win. We try not to make that too known, but at the same time we love to talk about it because that's just one of those moments that you have no idea what's going on, but it just worked out.
That reminds me, Dale Ballard Jr., Pba Hall of Famer. He was bowling the True Value Open at Landmark Lanes one time. He thought he needed a strike to cash.
Oh, yeah.
He leaves a ringing 10. All he needed was a mark. So he just throws the ball in the gutter because he thought he had not cashed.
Yeah.
And then he looked up and he was informed that if he had picked it up, that he would have cashed.
Yeah.
So he ended up throwing like 3 of his balls in the river right there on his way out of Peoria.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. That just goes to show never give up pins no matter how much you think you're out of it.
Of course, the most famous one, of course, was Don Janello.
Yeah.
He was in Anaheim where he thought he had lost. He left a Greek church and thought he had lost to Jimmy Pritz in the title match.
Uh-huh.
And so he throws his fill ball in the gutter. If he had gotten 3 pins, he would have won the tournament. But he had figured it out wrong.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Pritz ended up winning the tournament.
Wow.
I mean, this happens at the highest level where people just don't. And you know, I've been the official court. I was a tournament director.
Right.
All he had to do was ask.
Yeah.
What do I need?
Oh, yeah, that
we
happened.
would absolutely tell him.
Yeah, all the time.
It's not a secret. Just ask. Don't try to figure it out. They've got so much on their mind.
Right.
One time, Ted Hannas was bowling on the show, and you know, you get 2 re-racks a game, right?
Uh-huh.
So he was bowling. He was so focused. So it was like the 9th frame. So he looks over to me, and goes, "How many re-racks do I take?" And I go, "None." You haven't taken any.
Just making sure.
Yeah. All you have to do is ask.
If I remember, Ted, that he's from the Chicago area, right?
No, he's from Zanesville, Ohio.
Zanesville, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember we had a Peterson squad, and I believe that he bowled it one year.
He's very talented, very good bowler. He won 3 titles, 2 of them at Landmark. He won back-to-back at the True Value Opens, but he was a very steady bowler, very deliberate bowler. He kind of likes to take his time on the approach.
Right.
You kind of figured out who were the bowlers that kind of took their time.
We call those human rain delays.
That's correct. Yeah, we actually had them rated when we were making pairings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we would split those guys up because we had to.
Yeah.
They would. One pair can slow down the whole tournament.
Right.
So,
I know. I did I had my card back in 2008, 2009, and did some tournaments, did some traveling, and yeah, you caught that. Like even in the few that I bowled, I still caught that. Like, oh man, we're bowling next to so and so. We're gonna be half a game behind. You know, game 1.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And then you got some people that you're like, okay, we need to pair them with this person because they're up before the rack's even set.
Yeah. Literally, we had that into our computer.
Right.
We would rate bowlers 1, 2, or 3 depending on their speed.
Wow.
And they would spread them out for us.
Yeah. Wow.
Worked out great, and we could still move them around. Like if our squads wasn't full.
Yeah.
If there were 3 on a pair, we would put one of those on the pair with 3.
Wow.
So we could actually manipulate the pairing.
Man. And especially with the introduction of like double jump and things like that, I still think that is one of the coolest introductions that has been brought out to bowling. I'm surprised that it's not used more. I think that a lot of people are intimidated by the thought of it, but I mean, once you get that going and you watch it in action, it is such a cool technique to watch. So those of you that don't know what the double jump technique is, so you see Pete bowling on 15 and 16 right now. That means that 13 and 14 and 17 and 18 would not be bowling. But then now that Pete is gone, somebody from 13 and 14 and 17 and 18 goes, and they kind of go back and forth like that. I like to say that it's like a piston. You know, it goes 2 up, 2 up, 2 up.
Good way to put it, yeah.
And it just makes the pace of play go by so much quicker. And it evens out the pace, too, so that if you do have those bowlers that are slowing down a little bit, people are going to know, hey, this is, you're behind. Come on, let's go.
That is correct. We got Ron Hollis here. He's got the front 7 right in front on the TV pair.
And it looks like Joey Damon is his partner right now. Damon can strike out for 236. That would be a heck of an open.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
And he's riding right
up.
Yeah,
he's got the kind of kills it, kind of riding the right around the oil line.
And what's good about that is that he, being in that area, if he shot it a little bit right, he's going to hit that transition.
He'll catch it,
And then if he gets it in a little bit, he's going to get that. I mean, we have a 2-board step pretty much here. Every 2 boards, it goes about an extra 5 feet on the oil. So you get it in a little bit, you're gonna ride all the way to the pocket.
Yeah, if you can find a ball that can hold it, or switch surfaces maybe in a couple of games.
Right. Yeah, this, like we said, I don't think that it's going to be easy to get to the top 4 in this game, or in this tournament.
Wow, still struggling on that other pair, most of them. Oh my God.
Yeah. We do have a bowler. Looks like the second bowlers, bowlers 2 and 2A, they have decent scores going right now. But
3A's got something going. He's got a turkey going.
Do have front 7 down on 21 and 22 for bowler 1A. Just kind of looking around to see what strings we have. We have front 8 over here on lanes 13 and 14.
Wow.
And what's nice about the cameras that we use is that if we go to 15 and 16, we can actually see the bowlers on 13 and 14 deliver their shots. So we'll probably have to go to that at some point here in the near future.
Here goes Behrens again, going for a double. Pete's got a nice game going. See if Tim can catch another double here.
Oh, 2-pin drops late. A little bit of a tough lead with the 4-8 there.
Wow.
All right, so trying to see who we have with the front 8 over here on 21 and 22. Let's see, the partner is Sammy Taylor. It looks like it's Steve Taylor.
Steve, his brother. Oh, yeah. I think he's a very good bowler from my area, from the Peoria area. He's got 4 regional titles. He's I'm not surprised to see him hitting this. He's a pretty good regional player in our area.
You see him on the right side of your screen right now. Just delivered the ball, playing up the outside. Yeah. And he has got front 8 over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is front 8 down there. Yep. So a heck of a shot, and couldn't ask for any better than that.
Yeah, he just got back from the USBC Open in Vegas, and I think he had 19. He had a good 1900.
Wow.
And his team shot like 3106 or something like that. They were top 20 when they left.
Wow.
But
that'll be a nice little payday.
Yeah, he's a very good bowler. He usually does well in the USBC Open. He's bowling with his brother Sammy today. Sammy's a lefty, a little older. He's a senior, and so Sammy's kind of trying to get back to even here.
Yeah, it looks like they can go sheet for 5:15. That's an okay start, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah, you know. I guess it gets a little better than that. And it looks like we do have one vacant team down on 11 and 12, so I guess we got 35 teams, which is still, I mean, an over-under 50s doubles on a sport pattern in St. Louis. Who'd have thought that you would get a turnout like that?
That's amazing. That's awesome.
And here we go, Ron Hollis up on
Hollis,
lane 15. Now, it looks like on the left-hand lane, he is swinging it a little bit more than he did on the right lane.
Came in a little light, half 10.
So he's kind of riding that oil on basically straight up 10 on 16, but then he started at probably a good 4 or 5 boards left off his hand on that one. So I'm wondering if he has been doing that all game or if that was just a kind of an inside-out shot, maybe one of those foul line adjustments. Wow, what a carry down there
nice
for the
break.
double.
Broke up the 4-6. Not bad. I still don't know who's got the front 9 over here.
Yeah, we'll take a look on that. Looks like it's the second bowler, yeah. Yeah, second bowler. We do have, looks like Roy Adams is down there on lane number 14 right now, so we'll be seeing him. I'm guessing the right lane's going to move right and the left lane's going to move left. Just taking a look at so Kevin Schrum is bowling with Shea Bedenbender. Kevin with the open in the 10th for 180, it looks like.
Yeah.
So it's Jerry Dwiggen's partner. Jerry today is bowling with, and this may not be accurate. This is the roster that was posted. And actually, I don't even know if I see Jerry on the on the list, which makes it even better.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of late additions. Guys, something came up, couldn't make it. Got a different partner.
We will know here in just a little bit. Shea Bedenbender first has to throw his 10th frame. Pete right back on it. Can still shoot 258.
Yeah.
I don't know what put me on the search string this week, but on YouTube I've been watching a lot of old women's PWBA tournaments and things like that, and watching the Michelle Feldman 300, Pam Adler, Wendy McPherson. But I'm looking around today, and there's a good representation of solid women bowlers here today.
Yeah, I noticed that. And usually when we come down here, we see some unbelievably good women bowlers down here.
I see Ashley and Devere are bowling with each other. That's awesome to see. So then we got a team of 2 women, and then Christine Gill, I thought I saw. Yeah, she's over on 21 and 22. Now, I just thought about it. I said right lane moves right, left lane moves left. I think that the whole pair is just going to be moving because the teams are actually bowling. Okay. I would think so because the bowlers are across from each other. So, and there's a late trip there on lane number 16 to keep the 279 dream alive.
He's probably thinking, where were you last frame?
Just mix the two. We'll get a double.
Speaking of the women bowlers, I don't know if this week the PWBA had their first Hall of Fame class in quite a while. Great Hall of Fame class. Wendy McPherson, you just mentioned her.
Yes.
Leanne Barrett-Hulsenberg. And Donna Connor, she runs the tournament down in Houston, does some great things, but unbelievable class. Obviously, Wendy and Leanne could have gone in many years ago, but they didn't have a women's tour.
Right.
So, Leanne, I remember the first time I met Leanne, and she was out at one of the stops, and Tony Westlake knew who she was. I had never seen her before. And I go, is she pretty good? And he goes, she can out-hook the crap out of me. And he was right. I don't know if you remember Tony. He threw it pretty straight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I guess I kind of forgot. Oh, and bowler on lane number 14. Looks like that's Eric Samowski is up on lane number 14. And the pin's trying to give him a little bit of an advantage as he's got to take a re-rack there on lane 14. But I forgot how much Wendy McPherson just absolutely ripped. I mean, I kind of thought of Wendy as more of a straighter player, which she was for quite a while, and then something changed in her game, like late 90s, that just caused her. I mean, she really discovered something that allowed her to really put a lot more on the ball. And then
it's always nice to run into them. When I'm in Vegas, she lives around there, so I run into her a lot. She was at the Hall of Fame dinner a few weeks ago, so it's always great to see her. And Leanne Barrett, Anne-Marie Dugan was there. Just some great names from the ladies from the past.
And then even the current bowlers, I mean, you're going to see them in 10, 20 years still dominating out on the tour, and hopefully we get that resurgence of women's bowling again.
Yeah, some of today's young stars are pretty phenomenal, but you're getting a lot of input from a lot of foreign bowlers coming into the women's tour that are dominating. They're very good, particularly Singapore. A lot of good women. They have a very good, solid program in Singapore.
And what's I think what kind of started the PWBA, and Eric Suhowski just left a solid 8-pin 10-dish string.
Oh my God.
A front 9. Oh, but
And
it looks
they
like it was,
rewrite.
yeah, it looks like it was on second cycle. But,
Wow. Tough way to end it. Let's see what Steve Taylor's got the front 10.
all right, let's go ahead and go on to that. On the right-hand side of your screen, bowler on the left-hand lane, lane number 21, currently on front 10. But I feel like not only Robert Morris, but Kegel, the Weber International team, I feel like they really sparked the I don't know if they sparked the women coming over that will be future PWBA members, but it just, like you said, the international competition, it's great to see people coming in, and even on the guys' side too. I mean, just the international talent that we're getting on the U.S. tour is just it's a very cool thing to see, to watch day in or week in and week out.
Yeah, guys that a lot of people in Europe knew for a long time. I mean, we get the Don Barrett, we get the Stu Williams, and Jesper Spence, and they were big names in Europe, but all of a sudden now they're international because of the PBA Tour.
Exactly.
Looks like Steve's got 11.
That is 11 right there. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to turn the camera real quick. I will be right back, and we're going to frame Steve here for his 12th shot.
Go right ahead. Looked like Sammy, his brother, opened with a 191. Looked like.
Yeah, 181. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Opened in the 10th. So that was still 481. It still wouldn't be bad.
And here it is for 300. There it is.
Solid.
Perfect.
He's pretty clutch. He's probably the best bowler in our area.
He looks excited.
You can never tell how Steve's doing by looking at his mood after he's done.
Right. And that may be a good thing. All right, I'm going to move that camera back, and then here in about 5 minutes, we're actually going to be going on to what's called Sliver.tv. If you guys haven't heard of that before, make sure to check out !Sliver. That's SLIVER. We're going to be part of a watch and win. We're going to be part of a watch and win where we actually give away prizes during bowling. We're going to be on that from 10 a.m. all the way till 12 p.m., so 2 hours of prize giveaways. So basically what it is, we're going to have some what they call predictions up, which is where it'll be like yes or no questions, things like that, and once an hour we'll be drawing for actual prizes. So it's a pretty cool thing that we get to bring you guys on bowling, and yeah, hopefully our connection holds up. It looks like we've been having some in and out issues, but it seems like it's not really going that long, maybe like 30 seconds at a time, but I'm going to check between games here just to see if we can figure out what is going on, maybe connect to a different port, whatnot. So I will be right back. We're going to let the bowling do the talking here for the end of the first game, going on to our second game of qualifying. And we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Can you get one or two people talking at one time?
We can. If they just want to do a back and forth, though, I can always step back and just.
Well, I eventually want to get. I'd like to get you and Rich in here together.
I
That
think
way
I'd
we
come
get
back after Rich
some
gets on
true
here.
bowling knowledge, and I'd like Rich to be involved in it because you lead, guide, direct, and so.
I can always take this mic, bring it down here.
Nice
That would
finish.
be fine.
If you can.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
can do
so
that.
black coffee. All right.
How you doing, sir? Good seeing you.
You too.
Having fun here.
Well, your son's getting big.
Yeah, he passed me a long time ago. So what you been doing?
Oh, I'm retired now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I I fill in every now and then. Mr. Weber? Hey, how you doing, Steve? I just came from Marengo. I ran a regional up there yesterday. But just when they conflict with Bobby's region, because he's running the Midwest also. And this time he's out in Las Vegas doing the USBC. So I worked yesterday and I'll work next week. And then I don't have anything going on until October. One more in October. And then I told John, that's it.
You're done.
I'm done.
Sweet.
I'm enjoying
Hey,
retirement.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. I'm enjoying that too much. So, I do have a part-time job. I work at Menards from
Really?
5 in the morning till 9 in the
Oh, I
morning.
think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get my exercise.
You know what I started doing is driving cars for local dealerships.
Oh yeah.
They will take us. They will drive us out to Dearborn, Michigan, and then we'll drive back as far as they want.
Oh.
It's really, I love it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. It takes all day, but
Yeah.
pretty simple. I can drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get to try out a bunch of new cars. Excellent. Love it.
Okay. Yeah. I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to walk a mile a day. Well, at Menards, I don't have to worry about that. I walk 2 to 3 miles a day. That place is huge. See some old timers out here.
Yeah, really. Nice to see Pete at his 100th again.
Yeah.
How many people get to celebrate it twice?
Yeah, they counted that one when he bowled as an amateur. The very first region he won.
He wasn't a member.
No, he wasn't a member. That was over at Trailsville. Good. Yeah, I think he beat Norm there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started coming to these. When my son started coming to these, I started running into some guys that were on tour 30 years ago.
Yeah.
David Rosen, Big Look, Jim
Yeah.
Y'all are still good.
Yeah. Like Shatcock. He was never a member or anything. Man, he was so cool.
You got for him and Queen, that should be
Yeah.
years and days ago.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen Green in I don't know how many years.
Still looks the same. Still throws it the same. His brother's got 180. He's bowling with the whole same lefty. Not quite as good as Steve. He can remember How's John doing?
All right, check 1 2 1 2.
He wants to retire too, but he can't. Well, he's got too many bills.
What is going on? Ronnie Crazy in the house, everybody. We're just getting some microphones set up here. We're actually going to get a couple of commentators in. So we're setting up a new mic, getting a new headset in, bringing you guys 3 commentators, which is rare here. So I'll be right back and I'll let the bowling do the talking for just a few minutes. This is the Part-Time Bowlers Tour live from Plaza Lanes. We're just finishing up game number 1 of an 8-game qualifying block.
good on you.
I still got them too. My kids, my grandkids get a kick out of them. They're like, little shoes.
Yep, just one.
Folks, sorry about the delay there. Do have game number 2 of qualifying starting up. Let me go ahead and get that changed.
It makes a big difference on who you follow. That's why we do that skip.
Well, as soon as I saw it,
Skip 1, skip 2. Big house, skip 3.
and you know what? I don't have to announce, all right, you're sliding one to the right except for the 50, and then you're going to skip one, slide, and go back to skipping.
Yeah.
No, it's on your sheet.
Yeah.
It's on your sheet.
Yeah.
I made me a tablet up, a pattern. We're on a 24-lane house, here's the skip pattern. We're on a 32-lane house, here's the skip pattern.
Yeah.
It's already in my book. I just, like butter. I gleaned a bunch of information from John. It was great. Plus, again, I hadn't seen him in, God, it's been 25 years since I've seen him. I said, one of us got bigger, the other one didn't. He started laughing. Hey, before we go, I'll give you something.
Check 1 2 1 2 check.
busy?
Ricky's really good at what he does. He can guide the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it'd be cool to hear the back and forth between.
Yeah, I did a story for the June issue of the WarwickSTL on Larry Lichstein getting into
What a great guy.
and then for July, I'm going to do a story. I'm doing a story about Chris Barnes getting into it. It was a great ceremony in Vegas.
Well, I saw you post a couple pictures of you and Larry, and I remember, man, he ran my legs off back when he did the balls. But he gave us, he rewarded us well for working hard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, man, it's 15, 16-year kids, we believe they were 10, 12, 15 volleyball. No, we thought we were.
Yep. Take care of the people.
I'm not clear yet, but you know, after the heart attack, you know, and they put the stent in there, I should have started feeling better. I didn't. It was getting worse. It was just weaker and weaker.
All right, bowlers, welcome back. Sorry about that. It seems like we had some frame drop issues. Taking a look and see, it looks like we still have a little bit of issue going on here. But we are live on our sliver.tv watch and win sweepstakes. So let's go ahead and get some questions in for you guys.
That's what they did in January.
Not questions, predictions. I don't know what I'm thinking. Well, kind of questions, I guess. But it looks like we do have a big skip today. I'm guessing 3 pairs over. So we have Aaron Orange up on lane number 15, Chase Rhodes up on lane number 19. And Chase Rhodes with the front 3 and his partner as well. I believe that's Greg Getzlow. Front 3 as well.
So I did the hospital another 3 or 4 days and couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't stand up. So, and my heart rate, my resting heart rate was like 130. You know, and I mean, it was just, I had lots of chest pain and all this stuff. Well, one of my nurses came in and she said,
all right, hopefully we have stabled out by now. It looks like we are hovering in. I'm going to try dropping the frame rate, not frame rate, but the quality down just a little bit. Hopefully that makes things a little bit smoother. It may replay, not replay, but buffer here for just a second as it does that.
Medicine by medicine, she went, oh my God. She said, I remember I was like, I drifted off to sleep a couple times. I heard, remember, I was like, oh my God.
All right, let's go ahead and open some predictions for you over on sliver.tv.
Nurse practitioner came in with her. She looked and they're dropping over there. I think that's it.
And we have Alan Holding up on lane number 15, left-hand side of your screen. Alan's partner is Jim Wagner today. Greg Getzlow up on 19. It's the left-hand side of your right split. You see Getzlow's name on the back. Under that wonderful hammer banner. Currently on the front 3 strikes. His partner Chase Rhodes on front 4. Let's get the time up on there for you as well so that you guys know the current time in Central Standard Time. We do have our predictions running until 11 a.m., so that gives you about 45 minutes. See if we get some people in. It looks like we are giving away a Season 3 Sliver.TV coffee mug. You can hold your coffee, you can hold your G Fuel, you can hold anything you want. Your pens, pencils, paper clips, holds many different things. So let's take a look at the teams that we have. It looks like James Jackson is bowling with Aaron Orange. James stepping up on lane number 15.
You ready for it?
Yeah, let me get a chair real quick. All right, we do have a few people coming in the booth today. We're going to have a nice little change out going on, change of pace that we normally have. Usually it's just me commentating, so this is a little bit different. It's kind of cool because we are going to be on Sliver for the next hour and 45 minutes. Oh, and James Jackson hooking a little bit by the 3-pin up on lane number 15.
Just FYI, I turn your headphones up a bit. If it's too much, just let me know. I turn your headphones up a little bit. If it's too much, let me know.
So up on the right-hand lane, lane number 16, we have Lisa Tim. Lisa's partner, Kevin Stone. Kevin with the front 3. Doesn't seem like as many people have strings going this game. We have front 4 on a few different places. Stone going for 4 right here. Does so, puts 10 back in the pit. Great shot right there. A lot of clean games going today, though. Seems like the pace is over 200. I just realized when I brought the scoring monitor back, I cut off a little bit of it. So let me get that back on screen for you. There you go. Now you can see the scores on 19 and 20. Oh, tough break on lane number 16 for Alan Holding over there. So it looks like the connection is still fluttering just a little bit. Hopefully the frames are not dropping, though. Somebody could give us some kind of confirmation that we are streaming and it looks okay. We're still having frame drops, etc. Oh, as soon as I say something, it looks like we dropped enough to where the stream went offline. But we are back, it looks like. I do apologize for all the issues that we're having today. Something's going on with the internet. It's not liking us. Keeps kicking us off every 20 minutes or so, but we are archiving the footage. We will have all of it recorded and put up on our YouTube page, so no worries there on that one.
Wherever. Two open, yeah.
And we do have a few people joining us today.
Oh, you want me here?
Sure.
Yep, and just let me know if you need your headphones adjusted at all.
All right, if I have a coffee?
Yeah, absolutely. No, not at all.
Okay.
All right, we do have a few guests joining us today.
A little loud? Okay.
It's a little loud.
A little loud? Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay, that's
We good? Cranked it up a little bit. Sorry about that, guys.
Is it all right now?
Yeah, it should be. You tell
Okay.
me. So we have a few guests joining us today. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves? Let us know a little bit of background information.
Okay, I'm Rich Weber. I'm the son of Juanita Weber. And maybe Pete Weber is my brother. But
I guess we
yeah.
got to mention him, huh?
I used to bowl a long time ago. I have 2 regional titles to my credit. I worked for the PBA. I used to work for the PBA. I'm retired now, but I ran the Midwest region program. And that's about it.
That's about it? No, that's all?
That's all.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us today. And game number 2 action here at the Part-Time Bowlers Tour, over 50, under 50 doubles on the Big Ben pattern. And I don't know if we did introductions first game.
I don't think so, no.
Why don't you tell the audience about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Johnny Campos, longtime bowling writer, actually. I've written about bowling for more than 40 years, but most people might know me from, I did work for the PBA for 14 years. The last 7, I was the national tournament director. I am retired from Caterpillar, but I'm still writing. I write for the Bowlers Journal. I have a weekly bowling column at the Peoria Journal-Star. So heavily involved still in bowling.
So are we going to get a write-up on the over 50, under 50 doubles?
It might depend on how my son Andre does.
And Johnny had joined us for game number 1. I'm not used to having people come into the commentating. I'm usually sitting here by myself, just kind of talking away. So it's nice to have some company for a change.
Well, I heard how great you were, so I wanted to hear it for myself.
Aw. Thanks, Rich. And what's cool about right now, you guys joined us at a great time. We're over on Sliver.tv. We're doing a watch and win sweepstakes that we do. It's a 2-hour time block. We give away prizes. People just have to go over to Sliver.tv, and then we've got questions up right now that they call their predictions, and it's basically yes or no, or like one of our questions right now is who is not a sponsor of the Part-Time Bowlers Tour, and we've got as your answers Sun Trop, Hammer Bowling, Amazon, and Ray Orf's Pro Shop, which there are certain ways that you could figure out an answer on that, but we also have things like Willa Bowler gets 6 strikes by 11 a.m. We've got Chase Rhodes up on lane number 20. He's got 5. Well, actually, we can close that because he just got his 6th strike there. So there we go. Prediction closed. That's how it works. It's that simple. And so at the time, at 11 o'clock, we'll close all these, and then they will draw a winner on the website to figure out who won the prize. So kind of a new thing that we were trying to introduce into the live stream of bowling.
What kind of prizes do they get?
So right now they're going for a Season 3 Sliver.tv coffee mug. So something easy to use, practical, and looks pretty good too. I was telling everybody earlier, you can put your coffee in there, your pens, pencils, paper clips. It is very accessible to use. And then we have Stone coming up here on lane number 15 on 5 in a row right now. Rich, have you gotten to watch a decent amount of the action so far?
A little bit. I've been talking with old friends that I haven't seen in a while, but yeah, I've got to see some of them bowl. I know Steve from up in the Illinois area. He used to come to our regionals at Verdun, Illinois. And I coached his daughter for a little while.
Oh, wow.
She went to Lindenwood for a little bit.
Wow.
And yeah. So I've known him for several years.
And we did have at least one 300 the first game, which is that surprising to you guys to see 300 with this caliber of bowler out here?
No, it's not. There's some pretty good talent out here. That was Steve Taylor that shot the 300, but I mean, Kyle Sherman, he's tearing the tour up right now, and I expect to see him shoot a 300 today. Like I said, there's a lot of talent. Tom Adcock and Jason Queen, that's a great team right there.
On a team together. I mean, that's every year at the Holiday Doubles, they're always making a run at it, too.
Yeah, that should be outlawed with those two guys.
That's exactly what I said.
And it looks like they will actually join our live stream pair next game, I believe, if I'm adding this up right. They may be one over from it again. I think it's a 3-pair skip, or it may change every game, so that may have been our big skip first game. And then,
Well, Tom Adcock won our regional in Verdon 3 years in a row. He was just amazing.
and I believe that they just went out to nationals recently. I'm not sure the performance that they did, but you're seeing a lot of local bowlers, local. I say local, but you know, between here and Chicago, posting that they're going to the nationals this week. So it seems like a rough weekend to go out there right now.
Yeah.
Or a rough week, I guess I should say.
Let's see, there's somebody over there that has the first 7. Yeah.
Yep, that's Chase Rhodes, and his partner Greg Getzlow has a 256 going as well. So nice little start for that team over there. And it looks like, yeah, Stone's streak here on lane number 15 ended at front 5, 8 count. Got Aaron Orange up on lane 15. Now, we were kind of discussing the pattern a little bit earlier today, showing just the extreme difference between the outside. You know, usually you hear numbers like 3-1, 2-1 is the ratio, but this one, a 7.3 to 1, but basically from a 10 to 10, it's a flat pattern. It's a 1.7 to 1 ratio, and then once you get outside there, it goes from 1.7 to 7.3. So we were saying that the move can possibly be eventually switching to urethane, moving right, kind of using that free hook that they have, keeping it somewhere between second, third arrow, and having that pretty much all day.
Rick, you'd be surprised at how many bowlers are going to urethane anymore.
Right.
Even on the tour, they use a lot of urethane.
Mm-hmm.
Even yesterday in the regional up in Marengo, that there was several guys using urethane. Just they don't get the overreaction with that.
Yeah, it kind of blends out the pattern, really keeps you out of trouble. Your splits turn into makeables.
Right.
It really does.
Right.
Now, if obviously if the reaction isn't there, it's not there. But you see it there on a lot of different patterns.
The urethane also carries the oil down faster.
Right.
And they'll build up a little hold spot down at the end eventually.
Johnny and I had a pretty good talk first game about urethane and how it's amazing how everything just kind of comes full circle. Everybody's kind of going back to it's kind of the extreme with urethane nowadays. You either got the old school one color, can't tell a logo, or you've got just a crazy mix, kind of like the fever pitch that really stands out. But then you've got like the purple hammer, and I mean that's old school right there. That's just one logo and good to go.
Well, I think it comes down also to, these kids have so much hand.
Yep.
The rev rate is just unbelievable, and they'll burn up a lane real quick with that reactive, and then they have to go to the urethane just to keep it on the lane anymore.
Right. We were talking with last week the Midnight Bowler Society and that pattern that was out there, but they gave them a half hour of practice anywhere they wanted to, and you could really set up a lane, multiple lanes in a half hour. I mean, that's a lot of practice for good bowlers.
Yeah, even on the tour, on the show, they've changed the way they warm up.
Yeah.
Because there's been a tournament where there's one lefty make the show and the others are righties, and the lefty burns a hole in the lane.
Yep. I actually
And
heard about this.
and he beat him.
Yeah.
That was Mike Scroggins. Mm-hmm. And then Wes Malott the next year did the same thing. He was the only righty to make it. Yep. He burned a hole in the lane and he won.
And what's really cool about the PBA shows is that you're actually able to see the pattern with this blue oil now and see where it's gone, where the holes are, and how much they have screwed the lanes up during practice.
That's right. That's right.
We had some tournaments where we had like one lefty and 4 righties. Like guys, there were some guys would like Wayne Webb. He would start throwing backup balls in practice just to try to mess up with his shot. Otherwise, they would do what Scroggins did. Yeah. And there's nothing they could do to stop him, so he started throwing backup balls. It was interesting how they. Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah.
I mean, something that I really learned in college, especially bowling with Lindenwood, is that you can always go into basically a majority of our practice time was setting the lane up for us. So we didn't even throw strike shots until like the last 2 minutes. We would constantly, okay, I want you to burn this area, or I want you to play with plastic in here, create some hold. It's just amazing what you can do with some Aberlon and and a little bit of time.
That's what happens to a lot of teams out at the USDC Open.
Right.
By the end of by the third game, they're basically bowling on a wall.
Right.
I mean, they're playing right up 10, and everybody's playing there. And if you can get a team to do that, that's where the big scores are coming from.
Yeah, if you remember Jeff Riggles, that was a requirement on his team. They would play in a certain area in practice, and then switch equipment, and they usually bowl pretty good.
Yeah,
I think they all have eagles.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they broke them up into like 4 instead of 2 teams or 4 now. So the Eagles are kind of spread around.
Okay.
Until some of them turn 60, then they're going to merge back to the regular 10.
All right, let's go ahead and focus our attention up on lane number 20, Chase Rhodes coming up
There you go.
on the front 9 right here. Throwing a ball that kind of stands out a little bit.
Is that the pink black widow?
That is it, the Hammer Pink Black Widow.
Yeah, it just came out.
It's a pretty good spot for us, and Hammer
Looks like he throws the ball a little bit straighter.
Yeah.
And
He's piping it up the outside.
yeah, he's got a lot of speed on the ball.
Chase is no stranger to throwing it hard, but he's actually a really versatile bowler. Can get left, and I mean, with all the revs that he has, he can slow it down a little bit and play the whole lane. And his partner Greg Gutslow gets up there, throws a strike for 3 in a row as well.
Wow.
Greg
Put
can
up
shoot.
a big number.
This is a huge game right here. Let's go ahead and switch on over to 19 and 20. Give a nice shot of Chase here. And there it is.
Yep.
That is 11 in a row. Let's put up a flash prediction here. Will Chase Rhodes shoot 300?
Yeah, that was the pair a lot of bowlers were struggling on the first game.
It really was.
Yeah, that was.
But I noticed that a lot of those bowlers were playing pretty much straight up 10-ish area, which probably really allowed these guys to come in, have that hold, maybe get a little bit of carry down, kind of blend out that major drop off from 10 out. All right, here we go.
His partner left the 4-9. That didn't help.
And there it is. Perfect 300.
Yep.
That is 2 games in a row that we've had a 300 on the live stream. And I actually want to say that may be the first 300s on the Part-Time Bowlers Tour on our live streams. Then that may have been the first one because we had it on 21 and 22 last game.
Yeah.
So that was our first one on the live stream pair.
Nice. 543. Nice team game.
And right under that Hammer Bowling beautiful banner on 19 and 20. Jay's coming in, celebrating just a little bit.
You see how pretty that green ball is?
Way to throw Hammer on Hammer.
That's a sexy ball. You might be plugged in all day.
I think Chase did just plug it. Oh, goodness. Chase never wanted to be soft-spoken.
As soon as he gets over his shyness, he'll be okay.
Right. So that pair, the only pair that seems to have 4 bowlers on it, everyone else has 6. So we should be pretty close to that $2,000 top prize. And a lot of side action today here as well. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but This is one of the few tournaments that I've seen that the senior bowlers actually have the possibility to max out higher than the under as well, because they've got their senior brackets too. So they limit
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so kind of cool. Gives the over 50 bowlers the opportunity to kind of get into their own action, as well as with the under 50 too. So a lot of big paydays coming out today.
Looking over at on 13 and 14 at Adcock and Queen, they're kind of struggling on that pair. I think Queen can max out at 202 and Tom at 212 maybe.
And that is a ball change for Tom too. I noticed that he
open.
He went to something that doesn't move as much and paid for it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody was having a good time on that pair. So the 1A has got the last 4, but after a rough start.
Oh yeah, we got a few opens down there. Looks like Queen has had 2 splits as well as Adcock.
Queen can max out at 190 now. Yeah, they're going to have to come back big time.
All right, so bowling has ended on 19 and 20, so we're going to go ahead and switch it to full screen on 15 and 16 here. Throwing a backup ball at it. That's a pretty good shot at the 2-8-10 over there.
That's not the way E.J. Tackett picked it up. Didn't he pick it up twice in one telecast recently?
It's so funny. It's so funny to watch like the crazy split compilations on YouTube, and E.J. Tackett's part of like half of them. And I'm not talking about in the video. I'm talking about he has half the video. We have Alan Holting up on lane number 15. Alan with a nice strike there, can shoot 233. His partner, Jim Wagner, maxing out at 237. So that's a pretty decent game there as well.
Jim Wagner's been solid for a long time. Pretty good bowler.
Yeah, I can remember back, about 40 years ago, he was bowling the regional program.
Yeah. Oh, solid 9.
Wow.
But he still has the same reactions.
Yeah, we've got a pretty solid lineup today, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing what the action brings here over the next 6 games of qualifying. We got 8 games today that we cut to the top 4. I was telling Johnny earlier, I'm like, it's not going to be easy to get to that top 4.
No, there's too much talent.
So there's a 458 down there for the first bowlers on 11 and 12, just kind of peeking around, seeing what we got. There's a 268 for the third bowler, possible going into the 10th.
I'm glad you have young eyes because I can't see that far.
Right.
His partner can shoot 224 if he strikes out. That wouldn't be a bad game.
And I don't know if you've noticed this on the actual stream or not, but I've enhanced the scores as much as I possibly can. So,
Rick, I didn't bring my glasses, so I still can't see that.
I'll grab a magnifying lens. I think I packed that. So it looks like Shea Bittenbender is going for 279 down here on 21 and 22, just right of our live stream pair.
That was Steve Taylor's 300 pair.
Looks like his partner Kevin Schrum is struggling just a little bit, but still 197. That could put them at 477 or 476 for the game. You know, I actually did not see if they have doubles brackets or not too. That may be a way to get some side action even higher up.
Yeah, they don't. I don't believe they have high game for the doubles, but they have brackets.
Okay.
Team brackets.
Yeah, so a good amount
A lot of action today.
A lot of action.
I imagine guys like Shea and Tom Bartle, they've maxed out as they could.
Right. I think they just put a check in an all in, you know.
279 for the solid. Close it out.
All right, so that is a 476 for the Benton Bender Shrum team. We should be getting some kind of standings here in the next few minutes. Taking a look to see Kevin Stone here, after going front 5 on our live stream pair, caught a little bit of trouble. He's kept it clean so far. I didn't want to say that too early just in case, but 5 spares in a row now on the live stream pair. 229, still a pretty solid game.
Yeah, he picked up the 247, just a little, just on hitting it too solid. I don't think that's where he wanted to pick it up, but he actually, during the 5-bagger, one of those strikes was a Brooklyn.
Yep.
So he was, that lane apparently is hooking a little bit more.
And I did see him, it was either the 8th or 9th frame, he went Brooklyn for a 5-pin.
Yeah.
It looks like he needs to throw an 8 count for the cycle. He's got a 6, 7, 8, and, oh no, he did get an 8 count. So yeah, he's got the cycle down there.
Got it straight, kind of.
All right, so Queen and Adcock both threw strikes in the 10th, so
Looks
wonder
like
if
they
they're-
both made 2 big moves. Adcock moved way right, and
yeah.
Queen moved in with a stronger ball.
they just flipped, you know. They said, hey, you play where I
Yeah.
was. And,
Oh,
oh, my goodness.
wow. He's starting to jump already.
Welcome to the Game 2 transition.
Right.
And, you know, it's so funny because not that long ago, I was going to say back in the day, but not that long ago, your transitions wouldn't happen for Game 3, you'd always look out for Game 3, Game 4, not halfway through Game 2. So it's just all part of how the game has changed. Yeah, in this 8-game qualifying, you're going to have a lot of times where you're going to have to make a big move. And as we pointed out before, the move may not be left. It's like Adcock over there just moving right and seeing what he can do.
I love you too.
Any idea how Pete did this game?
No, I don't. He was down there at the end, and that's way far away from me.
Well, I do see a 227, a couple 200s.
He was on the bottom right, I think.
I want to say 206 and Barrett 191.
Okay.
So a little plus, but probably not the game they were looking for, especially on this pattern.
Yeah, some of the scores came down quite a bit this game.
We're going to switch to our bonus pair here. So we've got Mike Sabolis up on the right, going for 258. His partner, Terry Jones, lane number 17, going for 238, so that could put them up quite a bit.
Yeah, they're going to pass a lot of teams around here, that's for sure.
Oh, and that's a rough break for TJ right there. Nice pocket shot, looking back at a 710.
.57.
So it looks like we are having some issues with the internet. It's going out probably every 25 minutes. So we just got back online again, and we are addressing it. We're going to see if there's anything we can do. We tried switching it up a little bit to change things up, but unfortunately, problems still persist, and we just may have to ride with it throughout the day. But we are recording it. We're going to put it up on YouTube afterwards, so we're getting it in full. But it is unfortunately one of those things that happens. I think that's so smart that they have them put their score sheets in the baskets and bring it with them, just to make scoring collection that much easier. And I think that's it's a good way. It helps the other side of things, you know, just to.
Yeah, I might make that suggestion to my brother because we lose score sheets a lot. That they forget to bring them to the next pair.
Oh, nice. I don't know. A quick fine or two will set you in place, right?
That's still happening, Rich? I thought I would have figured that out by now.
No, they haven't.
Well, what gets me is that, doing score collections and things like that in the past, it is amazing to me how many bowlers decide to just put their score sheet in their bowling bag and expect us to know.
Right.
Jump up 1,000 views.
And we got Ben coming in. I'm gonna step away for just a second. If you guys want to talk or you want to let the bowling do the action, that is fine either way. I'm just gonna talk with Ben real quick to see if there's something that he would know about the internet that can help us out here. So we go to game number 3 of qualifying from the Part-Time Bowlers Tour. Over under 50s doubles, brought to you by Sun Trip. Thank you again for joining us. Once again, we are live on Sliver.tv doing our watch and win. We got 14 minutes